Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of If These Walls Could Talk. I hope you've been enjoying a Halloween-themed Instagram post this last week about actors who appeared on stage in Ivoryton and also made their mark in horror films and TV. Well, to cap that off today, we're taking a look at the king of horror himself, Vincent Price. Vincent appeared on stage here in Ivoryton in 1952 in a comedy called Goodbye Again. Vincent Leonard Price was born on May 27th in 1911 in St. Louis, Missouri. He actually went to Yale University and graduated from there in 1933 and then took a job as a school teacher. But what's really fascinating is his take on this, where he said, "I had the extraordinary experience of finding out that I knew nothing." And so he quit teaching, moved himself off to London, and enrolled in the university there in 1934 to pursue a master's degree in fine arts. But his burgeoning interest in the theatre soon led him to the stage, and he appeared on stage actually in London in a production of Chicago. Not the musical that we know, but actually the play that the musical was based on. He quickly followed that as a role in a play called Victoria Regina, where he played Prince Albert, and that play eventually transferred to Broadway and ran for 3 years. While he was in New York, Vincent joined Orson Welles' prestigious Mercury Theatre Ensemble of radio actors, and he performed lead roles in many of their productions. In 1938, he decided to travel to Hollywood and made his screen debut in a movie called Service Deluxe. No idea what that was, but soon he was finding himself in character roles in all kinds of movies we all remember, such as The House of the Seven Gables, The Three Musketeers, The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex. But his big break came with The House of Wax, one of the first films shot in 3D, in which he played a murderous sculptor who used human victims to populate his wax museum. Still terrifies me to this day. This film established Vincent as America's master of horror, and he would go on to star in such classics as The Fly, The House on Haunted Hill, and The Tingler. He didn't limit himself to horror films, however, and he demonstrated his range with memorable performances in Casanova's Big Night, While the City Sleeps, and The Ten Commandments. In the 1960s, Vincent appeared in his most acclaimed series of films, adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories, as directed by B-film director Roger Corman. He was usually teamed with the likes of Boris Karloff and Basil Rathbone and Peter Lorre. I can remember him most of all in The House of Usher, The Raven, and of course The Mask of the Red Death. In the 70s, he cut back on acting to devote himself to his other interests, fine art and gourmet cooking. He actually wrote a best-selling book called A Treasury of American Art. He had a huge and prestigious art collection, and throughout the 60s and 70s, he appeared on and hosted several cooking shows. Many of us remember Vincent from his film and television appearances in the 80s, including voicing a version of himself in The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo and the villainous Professor Rattigan in The Great Mouse Detective, a role which actually Price himself said was among his favorite. And who could forget him lending his voice to the rap in Michael Jackson's Thriller? Vincent's final on-screen performance came in the 1990s Edward Scissorhands. Vincent passed away on October 25th in 1993 in Los Angeles. Do yourself a favor and check out Vincent's complete filmography and bio, which is far too varied and extensive for me to talk about today. Vincent, it was great getting to know you.